Housing is a fundamental social determinant of health. Affordable, safe, and quality housing has been identified as a social determinant of health that is important for all people, not just people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We all have our own housing journeys that we've been on in our own lives, and the same should be true for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
A housing navigator is a must. It's a must because they know the system. They know what is available. They know what services you can get if you're moving for the first time.
Seth was so organized and kept regular meetings, helped people stay on task, help people, kind of go through the checklist every time.
The role of a housing navigator is to provide an outcome-oriented, time-limited service that is focused on supporting a person with an intellectual or developmental disability to move into independent or non-certified housing.
Since I was a teenager, I've been wanting my own place.
Working with Dave allowed me the opportunity to work with someone who had been living in certified settings for a number of years. He had lived in an IRA, an individualized residential alternative, for a number of years before moving into non-certified housing.
Well, when I first moved in here, I'm thinking to myself, I really have my own place. And my sister even came up one time and saw my place. She liked it. I took her and my brother-in-law out to the balcony, and they were jealous of the view from my balcony.
His support network really revolved around the certified setting. And so it was a process of tackling the challenges of what sort of supports and services does Dave need to live in his own place without the certified supports.
So the paid neighbor is someone that supports someone who lives independently and is on call to provide services. Dave can call me when, if he has a question, if he needs something, if he wants to get together.
I've known Lynn for maybe 2.5 years, I would say. If I don't understand anything, she'll come over and she'll sit down and she'll explain it to me. And
I think that Dave has become a lot more independent. I think I saw a lot of satisfaction in him making more of his own decisions.
Within a couple months after moving, he said, now that I've done it, I know I can do it again, and I want to keep looking at apartment options to see if I find something that I like even more.
I plan on moving again, a bigger apartment than what I have.
How I got the opportunity to move here was because of Seth. He had helped me find this place. He got me in and I moved in.
Well, Dan was in a certified setting for probably about 8 years, and it got to a point where it really wasn't a good fit for him. I knew that if Dan's goal was independence, I had a responsibility to do everything I can to help him be successful.
Working with Dan was exciting because I had the opportunity to see how a change in location, a change in housing could really impact someone's life, impact their confidence, and empower them to tackle other challenges that they faced.
Seth knew things that allowed the process to go much smoother.
He came in and helped me out, and it was just a joy, and I had an honest blast with him, helping me get to this today where I am.
We coordinated what services Dan was going to need, who was going to do them, how he was going to be able to live independently.
And for many people and many families, it's really intimidating to look at all of that and to realize that you really don't want any of those balls to drop that you're juggling and trying to have happen at the same time.
I have a picture of Dan the day he moved in. He's kind of leaning up against the door and boxes everywhere. And I went, this is it, Dan. I took a picture of him and I said, this is pretty darn cool, and he said, yeah, Mom, it really is.
To see him move into his own apartment and really take control over keeping it clean, over managing his finances.
He loves the independence. He has a dog.
He's just a lovable, crazy, hyper dog. If we play with him, he'll start chasing his tail too. He'll just run around in circles.
For Dan to have a dog is huge because there's a lot of caregiving that goes into taking care of an animal.
Really just a change in the type of living situation really promoted all of these other changes in his life and really empowered him to take control in all of these different areas.
Seth hit the nail on the head, and it's just wonderful.
I just love living on my own.
I'm so proud of this man and of who he's become. And I honestly know in my soul that if he didn't move into this apartment and have self-direction and have the guidance he's had, he would not be where he is today. And I know that.
I just love it here. That's all I can say.
It's important to recognize that non-certified housing is a way to support people to live more independently with better quality of life outcomes in a more cost-effective setting that is meaningful for them.
I can't put into words. I mean, it can make me cry thinking about it, because when a child is born, when a child is born with a disability, you realize that you're going to be responsible for that person the rest of your life. And to be able to encourage that independence and to help him be the very best he can be just doesn't get any better.